we could start off with the first one, why voting is important. This is our constitutional right, and not all countries and not all places that people live get this freedom of choice or this freedom of affiliation. And so I think it's just taking advantage of those freedoms that we do have and having your voice be heard. So many people kind of say, oh, well, my vote doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter. And actually it does matter. Elections could come down to, just one vote. And, as a candidate, I don't need all the votes. I just need more votes. And so that's why every single vote counts. And once again, these are one of the many, many freedoms that we have here in the United States. And so we should just take advantage of that, because once again, not all places have these freedoms. And so that's why I think it's just so important to get out there and vote and be that voice for yourself.
Okay, thank you for answering that question. That was why is voting important. So now I want to move on to the second question, and that is, how does voting impact the community, especially our local town of Pueblo?
Once again, it's being informed, and it impacts your community because, I think you want to research your candidates and see, starting from the bottom to the top, and as far as how does this candidate align with my values and what I want to see in my community? And, whether it be from a treasurer, as far as my candidacy, to city council and what city council does, because of course, every elected official has their own, their own skill set and what it is they actually do in office. And so once again, it's just really aligning your values with what you want to see in a candidate. And so that trickles down into that question of how does that impact your community? So, if you voted for someone, that aligned with your values, and the other candidate's values are like the extreme opposite of what you believe in, of course you want to use your voice to root on for that candidate that does align with your values. So it community, because these are the people that are making decisions about your community, whether it be growth, homeless, addressing the homeless issue, roads, education, healthcare, so many things that go into this that are kind of somewhat connected, to each of their own, as far as whether it be on a city level, on a county level, on a state level, whatever level that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is truly important, and voting definitely has its way on impacting our community. Okay, the third question for me to ask you is, how can people under 18 still support candidates and the whole political system? Because as you know, if you're not 18, you can't vote yet. So what are some ways we can help?
Correct. Well, you know what, Devin, you are already doing this, and I applaud you for that. You are getting involved by simply doing this interview, by sign waving with me today. So there's so many ways that people that can't vote can be involved. You can be informed. Once again, research your candidates, read, go to their social media, go to their webpage, contact them, via telephone or email, and ask, maybe those questions, maybe specific questions that you couldn't find the answers to on their website or their social media. And then get out and talk to people and help spread their message as to why this person is running and how you think that they're going to benefit your community and their values and things like that. And then, of course, like I said, what you're already doing is volunteering. What people don't understand is that it truly takes, an army of people to do this. And every person, holds their own unique little position as far as what they do. And it can be anything from sign waving to phone banking to, helping fundraise and things like that. Once again, there's power in numbers. And I always look at that in when I'm fundraising. I have over 1,600 followers on my social media right now on my campaign account. So if you break it down, if you think about it, if I had all 1,600 people that follow my campaign account donate $10, that would be $15,000. I mean, the $10, you can help in monetary ways and non-monetary ways. It really does take a very large team pulling together and doing their own little unique thing. And, some people are just like, well, it's just sign waving. No, sign waving, as you saw today, is kind of hard work, right? You're out there in the sun, and sometimes, depending on your personality, you may feel a little uncomfortable just kind of putting yourself out there on a corner holding a sign. And so it's really just kind of maybe getting out of your comfort zone. And, you may kind of trial and error, like, okay, I did sign waving. I realized I don't like sign waving. So I think next time I want to help with more behind the scenes thing, whether it be sending out emails or door knocking or dropping off literature or whatever, because once again, we all play an important role. And some people may think, that it's a very small role, but when you add all of those roles together, they come together and they help run a solid campaign in getting your message out there.
Yeah, campaigning is a hard thing, even just in your school election, just get those votes out.
Yep. And about it, what is campaigning really in the grand scheme of things? Campaigning is marketing. It is marketing who? Yourself as a candidate. It is branding yourself as a candidate. And in marketing, it's all about name recognition and being repetitive. So if you're constantly getting that message out there over and over and over and over, it's gonna you almost have to look at yourself as, like as you are the product that you are selling. And it's that's just the way you have to look at it, because that's exactly what you're doing.
Definitely. My last question here is just a fun question. What are your favorite things about Pueblo?
I am born and raised here. And so this experience, I kind of feel like I've already won because of the experience that I've had. Once again, born and raised here in Pueblo, connecting with my community, engaging with my community, learning about so many things that I never knew existed sometimes. I mean, I felt like I knew a lot about my community, and being, on this trail, I realized that I don't know a whole lot about, because there's so much, so many different organizations, just learning so much about my community and meeting so many amazing people throughout this journey. People that, strangers that support me, that I had no idea they even knew I existed, and then they reach out to me. But once again, it's just, I think, learning about my community, how I can engage in my community and be that positive change. Once again, if you look at the negative, then that's all you're going to see is the negative. But if you look at the positive, of all these amazing organizations, like the one that you started, A Kindness a Day, and it's people like you that make a difference. And once again, there's power in numbers. A lot of people think, oh, well, this isn't going to make an impact, and it does. I can truly attest to that and tell you that just you being there with me today made an impact, and it helped me. And so don't ever think that just one person can't make the change, or one person can't be that change. It always starts with just that one person who believes, that this is something maybe that our community needs or could benefit from, to start that, and then it just kind of spreads like wildfire. So keep up the good work. I just really applaud you for getting involved. It's really awesome. I know at that age, I wish I would have gotten a little more involved like this. So I really commend you for doing that.
All right. Thank you for meeting with me, Kim, today. At the time of this recording, there are 8 days until the Colorado primary election. So get out there and vote. You have, I think, until 7 p.m. on June 28th to submit your ballot. Yeah. So get out there and vote.
Yes. Awesome.